3 pages from my book 2 catalogue. Each page was a shortlist for each day. After each page in my book, I've got another page where I had a bigger list that has been condensed into this list. So this was the final list. There's no question marks or ticks or crosses. This was the final list. I'm going to do exactly the same, well, nearly exactly the same. So I'm going to go through it again. And the aim is to identify the fillies that are stakes fillies. That's the plan, and see how successful we are doing this. I've chosen book 2 because I was very organised at book 2, and my notes my notes were, bang on. I remember thinking at the start of each day that I was completely sorted. So I've gone on to Racing Post. I'll post a link on the email that you've just been sent. RacingPost.com. I've clicked on Bloodstock Sales catalogues, and I've changed it to 2020 rather than 2021. And I've scrolled down to the 12th to the 14th of October, where book 2 sale is listed. So I'm just going to do something slightly differently. You'll see up the top it gives you the option to refine the catalogue. So where it says sex, I've selected fillies, and it's gone from 800 odd to 282. The fact there was 282 in this sale kind of tells me why I was well organised, because there was a couple of viewing days, and then these fillies sold over 3 days. So, there wasn't too big a workload there for me. So I've got my catalogue. I'll just find the correct shortlist, and we'll start on day 1. And going into this, I'm hoping and expecting my catalogue to have somewhere between a 1 in 7, 1 in 8 success rate in terms of selecting stakes fillies to run at 2. And when we get to the end of the catalogue, we'll look at the ones that we've bought and see how successful we've been. So to start off with, we've got, if you open up the first, there's 3 attachments plus the sound file, and you're looking for the attachment that begins 538 Lob de Vega, because that's day 1. Okay, so that's day 1, and we'll kick off. So 538 Lob de Vega sold 67,000 Sackville Donald. I remember this filly. I was in the ring, and I was talking to John O'Connor about it before. I said I had 40 or 50,000, and he actually made me bid 65 in the ring for him. So it sold for 67. So that's just an example of what goes on in the ring. A lot of the times, you've only got one person who was willing to pay that price, and that was what happened here. So Sackville and Donald bought it for 67,000. This was a sister to See the Rose. It was a very good filly the year before. It was running against Feather at the time, a filly that I thought was pretty smart. So that's her. She's currently unraced. Scrolling down. 553, another one's unnamed. That's bought by Dermot Farrington for 45,000. 559. Okay, this is called If You Can Dream. Ran 4 times, achieved a rate of 67 by showcasing 35,000. Looking at my notes, if you look after showcasing, I've got an X. So maybe I'd scrub that in the end. Showcasing, very good stallion. I just find them, the good ones are really hard to buy. 560 got a circle. I remember this filly. I thought I was going to rob this filly. Sister to 3 stakes horses. Was down the bottom Furnace Mill. It had like a 10 grand reserve. I thought I was going to get this filly for next to nothing. Now, she was not small. And if you'd asked me at the time, 2-year-old or 3-year-old, I'd have said 3-year-old. So I'm not surprised she's unnamed or unraced. But there we go. 575. Next filly is Panama Red. Showcasing filly made 70 grand, sold by Cardiff. Right, now we've hit some success, because Panama Red has run 4 times, has won twice, is trained by Jail Irons, is now a stakes winner. He won at Leopardstown over 7 furlongs, the Ingabel Stakes, achieving an RPR of 102. So, let me just mark that off in my book. So that was 575, so we found the first one. So we're 1 in 5. Moving on. 585 is a filly called Washra, Ribchester filly. Ran 3 times, placed twice, achieved an RPR of 79, but not a stakes filly as yet. Second on 2 of its on its last 2 starts for Owen Burrows. Looks a smart filly, second of 14 last time out, but not a stakes filly. May end up being a stakes filly though. 587, See the Moon filly called Nectaris. Ran 6 times, won twice, placed twice, achieved an RPR of 89. Is this a stakes filly? Yeah, I remember Jessica mentioned this filly start of the season to me. Now, she could end up being a stakes filly. She won last time out over 7 furlongs off 85. She isn't a stakes filly as yet, but she may well end up that. So just to highlight my book, I'm going to half highlight the Ribchester, half highlight the See the Moon, because those are both fillies that you would be pretty happy to have bought, particularly for our budget. 588, remember this filly? Now, this was a good filly. I just couldn't face its pedigree, if memory serves. Tim Eastery bought it for 20 grand. Very good action. Knees good. Toes in a shirt near 15. Pedigree average, shirt tubular. So this filly was on the list but wasn't in love with it. Tim bought it for 20,000. It looks average, so I was kind of right to stay away from it, but it did make the list, so we'll include it for this purpose. Moving on, 597. 597. Oh, if you look at my list, the ones with circles on were the ones I was keenest on. So that was a Twilight Sun and the See the Moon so far. So we would have had one good filly so far. 588 and 597 next. Ran twice, achieved a RPR 64 for Ian Jardine. 6th and 5th. It doesn't look a superstar, but looks like it's had a problem because it last ran in July. Moving on. 602. Unraced 52,000. 608. This is named. Cost 150,000. Named but not ran. Moving on again. 622. Stella Queen. This is ringing a bell. Ran 3 times. Yes, sister to Faisal. Thought Faisal was a very good horse. Blue Diamond Stud bought it. Yeah, one of the guys who bred it bought the other one out. Memory serves. Ran 3 times. 3rd of 15 in Newmarket Maiden. 2nd of 11 in Newmarket Maiden. So smart horse. 100,000 is obviously more than I was prepared to pay, but I remember being keen on it and I've circled it. So that's a nice horse. Not a stakes horse yet, but there we go. 623. Still on race in Australia, which you wouldn't be overly concerned with. 626. Filly called Torn. Bated breath filly made 80,000. Again bought by J Lyons. Won on its latest start at Dundalk on the 8th of October. Achieved a rating of 84. So again, I'm going to highlight that as being a smart horse. 626. 645. Long time coming. This is, 643 it should be. 643. Bated breath filly called Bats. Aha! This looks promising. Bats has run 3 times and on its latest start was 3rd in a Group 3 in France after winning its first 2 starts. Stakes filly. That is 643. So the bated breath is going to get highlighted up. So now we've got 3, 4, 5, 8, 10, 15 on the list. 2 are stakes fillies. So we're bang on 1 in 7.5. Moving on. 656 unraced. 674. To See the Stars, but it's unnamed. You couldn't worry too much about that at this stage. Moving on, 700. Filly called Princess Ollie. Yet to run. 220 Peter and Lost All. Played plenty for it. 706. Unnamed Muhammad filly. Joe Foley bought it. Moving on, those ones didn't make the list. 718, Churchill filly. Cost a lot of money. Ran once, placed once. Churchill's aren't super fast. Now this is ran in France, was second to 13 on debut in Clairefontaine, which is next to Deauville. So that's probably going to be a decent horse. I'm going to half highlight that one. I said at the beginning there was no crosses on the list. Actually, I've crossed out 676 and 711, so I haven't included those in here. 721, 722, 721 unraced at the moment. 722 ran once, 350,000. Sackville Donald for King Power ran once, 8th of 9 at Salisbury. Sent off 72, so it must have been going nicely, but still hasn't done it as yet. 722, 727's the next filly. Love Trophy Power. Ran twice, placed twice. I'm going to half highlight that one up. 727. 729. Delphinius. This is ringing a little bell. Maybe for the wrong reasons. Ran 3 times. 5th, 4th, and 7th. John Coston. It might be ringing a bell because it's been entered in the sale. No. So that filly, yeah, I can't highlight that being a good horse, particularly when it cost 260,000. 740 is currently unnamed. 747, same. 754, Kick On Girl. I know this filly. This was bought back for the vendor and has since won. Yeah, I should have bought this filly at 40 grand. I was buying this. It was 42 vendor. Smart filly, it's won. And a half highlight that up. Another good horse to come from Tally-Ho. 761. Lovely Manor. Dabasin filly. Ran 9 times. Won once. Not a stakes horse. It is a winner, but I'm not going to highlight up, even though it's achieved a rating of 83. Moving on, 785. Camelot filly. Well, you wouldn't expect that to have run yet. 786, you would have. Memas filly made 140. Moving on, 804. Unnamed, and 807 is Memory Motel, who was run 6 times, achieved an RPR of 72, placed twice, so not a good horse. Oh, there's one left that I've missed. 765, New Bear. Sneaks on the side. In fact, that wasn't a filly. Let's see what's going on there. Oh, that was a horse I was, that was a horse, a home bird that I was sowing. So that is that. Okay, so we've got 2 stakes horses. This isn't particularly encouraging day one. We've got 2 stakes horses from a sample size of 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 18, 19, 20, 32. But smart horses to come from it is another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now, the horses that go to book 2 I tend to be horses that are going to train on from 2 to 3. So it could be that some of those 7 progress to be stakes horses at 3. And then obviously the numbers are going to improve. But at the moment, 32 on the list, 2 of them stakes horses. Scroll forward. So I'm now going to find my shortlist for day 2. So if you close down that window, add your first shortlist. I'll find the next one, and it should begin 8:20 in the top left-hand corner, which is the Tamios from Kildare. Okay, 820 is called Numeraire. Ran twice, no good. 826, Riboldery, Ribchester filly. Ran 4 times average. 831 was scrubbed. 839, Hanardi. It's a winner from 3 starts. Ed Donald's bought it. It's probably okay, but I don't think we can highlight it because it's only got a rate of 76. Moving on, 851, 853, 857. 51 and 853 are both unraced. 857 ran twice, achieved a rate of 65, so that's not much good. 873 unnamed. 880 unnamed, not going well here. 889 unnamed. 899 Kodiak unnamed. Could be that some of these horses have been exported, but at the moment it's not reading well. I think looking at this list, it's about to change, because 922 we've got a horse called Gilded, who ran 10 times today at 2, achieved an RPR of 102, obviously finished 4th in the Cheveley Park, several times, 3rd in the Cornwallis, etc., etc. She cost us the grand total of 17,000. She's going to get a line. So of all the horses that have gone through the ring that are on the list so far today, on this day, I've managed to select the 1 stakes horse on it. And not only that, I've managed to pay just 17,000 when the average price for the others are probably around about 80 to 100,000. So I'll just give myself a quick pat on the back and move on. 951. Aha, this filly is ringing a bell. Silver Bullet Lady. This was a smart filly. Ran once and then not seen again. This is the filly that's a sister to the Elusive Pimpernel I bought this year. Won on debut, not seen again. So I'm going to half mark that up. Let's hope we got it right this year. 954. Rancho Santa Fe. Frankel filly cost 460 grand. Ran once, no good. 9th of 9. It just goes to show that sometimes you're better off spending 17,000 rather than 460,000. Moving on. 968 I've scrubbed, so moving on to 9. Oh, let's just have a see what we could have won. But I have scrubbed this horse. 968. Marique, yeah, ran 5 times, achieved a rate of 59. Right to scrub it. 970 is a filly costing 150,000. I've wrote 60,000 question mark on my book. That was probably what I was prepared to go up to. 150,000 no, yet to run. 976, 32 yet to run. 986. Camelot filly costing 340,000. Ran once, not much good. This isn't looking good for the sale, but it is looking good for my stats. 988. I remember this filly because this is out of Megan Lilly. Made 80,000. He placed once in France. I think it's rated about 70, but no good. Actually sold yesterday for about 8 grand over in the French sale. 990. Lucy Lulu. Ran 10 times. Achieved a race in post rating of 75. Won on debut. 6 furlongs. She's no star, but she cost 18,000. Now, when you put that in the context of the sale, the two cheapest fillies selling on this day are my two. One's cost 17,000, one's cost 18,000. And something else that we should consider is Lucy Lulu's ran 10 times, Gilded ran 9 times. I don't think we found another horse that's run 5 times, never mind those kind of numbers. And that comes down to the mindset and placing them with the right trainers who are prepared to get the horses right and then run them. So, yeah, Lucy Lulu, a little pat on the back. Obviously not the success we had with Gilded, but still the 2 cheapest horses to come from the sale so far on this day. Probably so far in the sale, our 2, we've got 1 stakes horse and the other filly won. So we're not going bad. Moving on, 997. Oh, that is, of course, there might be horses that didn't make my shortlist. They're okay. I'll look through those at the end. 997 is on the list, but unnamed. 1007, 1015. 1007 is unnamed. 1015 is unnamed. 1019. Meredith, another Muhara filly. Ran 3 times, won. Is this the one that was sold for 100,000? No, it's not. Okay, so that's a winner. It's won its latest start, so that's gonna get a small selection. 1025. I'm feeling fine. Almanzor filly. This is a homebred filly that I had. Donica bought it for 45,000. Smart filly. I've heard good things about this filly. It's got an Oaks entry, if memory serves. Yep. So that was that. She didn't have the perfect. She wasn't perfect in front, but apparently she goes real well. So put that in your tracker for when we see her out soon. 1033. Memas filly called Sharessa. Ran 3 times, achieved a racing post rating of 73. 1050. Ran 5 times, achieved a rating post rating of 76. 1052. Run 5 times, achieved a rating post rating of 49. This isn't looking good for this sale. There's been 1 star so far in this sale, and I found it. 1055. Typewriter. Yeah, this filly is okay. Ran 4 times, finished second. Sorry, won twice. Latest 2 starts. Looks like it's progressing as well. So that's going to get a little highlight. Oh, wrong one. Oh, yeah, it was 1055. And I did have a star next to that one. So bad, but didn't have a star next to Gilded. So there we go. 1077 is a Night of Thunder filly called Perfect Thunder. It's run twice, placed once. Second on its latest start. That looks smart. That's going to get half a tick. So that's it for this day. 3, 6, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 28 fillies on the list. 1 stakes filly, Gilded, and horses that turned out to be okay, 5 today. But bear in mind that some of these will be 3-year-olds. So far we found 3 stakes horses from 60 horses. This isn't reading well, the Tattersalls book 2, but see if day 3 can improve those numbers. Right, 1090. So close down that window, open up your window. It's got the shortlist for day 3. 1090 was Vendor. 1095, Celestial Star. Ran once, no good. Yeah, remember that one running around sideways. 1107, 1111. 1107, Desert Dreamer. Here's one I've been kicking myself all year about. This was a gorgeous filly. Can't believe it made 20,000. It was actually 20 vendor initially, and then I was told that they weren't selling it. Went back. Stuart Williams went to purchase it privately. He got it for 20,000, and the rest is history. Company rate 103. It does improve the stakes filly success rate of this sale, though. 1111 Churchill filly that has made 340,000 yet to run. 1131. Making Music. Ran 3 times, no good. 1136. Red Joan. Ran 6 times, no good. 1143. Ran once, no good. 1158. Kingman filly. Ran one's no good. 62, 64, 65. 1162. Rousset. This filly's okay. And cost 25,000. Not one that I purchased. But just goes to show you don't have to spend a lot of money to get a nice horse. Did run a stakes race, finished 8th of 14. May end up being stakes horse, but not at the moment. That was 1162, so I'm half going to highlight that. 1164, I remember this filly. This was an absolute humdinger. Yet to run. 1165, Forget Me Never, filly that I did buy. So this has tarnished my record. This is the third filly I've bought from this sale. Bought her based on pedigree. She could walk, but she wasn't physically strong enough. She wasn't as strong as I would typically look for in a filly. Yeah, so that was that. She may be about a 3-year-old, but I think I don't think she's going to be style either way. Moving on, 1183. Homemade Andrea ran 6 times, no good. 1195. Lady Xenia ran 3 times, no good. 1201. Brown Mouse ran 3 times, no good. 15 and 25. 1215. Yeah. Now I remember saying I'll bet even money that Gilded would be better than this filly. And Gilded would cost 17,000, and this filly cost 325,000. She was a smart filly, but in terms of comparison, I said this at the time, not in January, February, March this year. I said this on the day in a voice file that I'd done like this. 325,000 seemed crazy to me and proved correct. Moving on, 1225, Camelot filly unnamed. 1236, Churchill filly unnamed. 1272, 73 and 74. 72, 73 are unnamed. 1274 is Honey Sweets. So we're going to highlight that up. Now, if you look at my notes, I'd given it a star, but I still only wanted to spend 20 to 35,000. That's probably what Roger at Talio's told me it was going to make. Because if you look down below, I put a price next to the Memos as well, and I can't believe that would have gone to 120. 20 to 35. I remember walking the ring, and I can't take all the credit here because I loved the filly. Carl loved the filly, but it was Carl who kept me. Who said we're going to buy it no matter. So we kept on going to 50,000, and she was called a stakes winner. So we've now got 5 stakes winners from this sale, and I've bought 2 of them that were on the list. 1279 unraced, 1280 Lucia Joy, yet to run yet. 1284 Caravaggio filly, unnamed. 1288 and 1307 got the cross. 1312 Ifraj filly, 70 grand vendor. So how many we got on this? We've got, so far here we've got 2 stakes fillies. One other smart one. 3, 6, 9, 12. No, cost them off. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. Start again. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. 24. So from 24 horses, there were 2 stakes horses in there. So let's combine the stats. So in terms of the number of horses, we've got 28, 32 is 60, 84 on the list. Of the 84 on the list, 5 of them have been stakes fillies. So this book is not reading as well as the Gossorby did, because this is more like 1 in 16, 1 in 17 end up being stakes fillies. But what is reading well is if there's 5 stakes fillies in this race, in this book, I've managed to buy 2 of them. And I should have bought the third one in Desert Dreamer. So that bodes well. if you think about it, of all the horses sold in book 2, it's 2 stakes fillies in the sale. I bought 2 of them, and further to add to that, Carl Burke has trained 2 of them. That's pretty good going, however you look at it. Not only that, they cost small prices in comparison to the sale as a whole. Right, so that is that. So now I'm going to go back to the beginning, and using just the fillies, because I didn't look at the colts, I'm going to see if there's any fillies on here that didn't make the shortlist, that should have been on the shortlist because have since gone on to be stakes fillies. And this will tell us how good we are at selecting them. If we've missed 5, then we aren't very good. If we've missed 1, I could probably forgive myself. If we missed 10, we're quitting and doing something different, i.e. a different career choice. I haven't done a dry run here. I haven't got time to do dry runs. So this is straight off the bat, and we'll see how we get on. So I'm going to go back to the Racing Post page. I'm going to go to the beginning. Again, I've got just fillies selected. So I'm going to start with lot 5, 3, 8, work our way forward. Anything that's unnamed or unraced, I'm going to ignore because obviously it's not going to be stakes filly. And then I'm going to look at the ones which didn't make my list. So we've got a filly coming up, Mystery Night, smart filly, but not stakes filly as yet. Achieved a Racing Post rating of 82. Mick Murphy bought it from Landwades. It's got a Racing Post rating of 82, but it's been running in Sweden. I don't know how well that form would hold up. This was bought to resell. Let's see what he resold it for. Bought it for 65, sold it to 120, so he did pretty good on it. But Swedish form, I don't think it's fair to compare. Moving on, 550. Didn't make the list, no good. 552, not run. 556 didn't make the list, no good. 573 didn't make the list, but was withdrawn. But it's yet to run. 585 and 87 did. 88 did. Let's keep going down. 597 did make the list. 608, I'm looking just for the named ones, did make the list. 610 didn't make the list. Let's see what we've missed. Not run. 622 did make the list. 624 didn't. RPR 64, so we haven't missed anything there. Keep going on. 628 was withdrawn. No good. 630. Nymphadora. Right. This is one we've missed. 630. Sold by Grove Stud. Brendan's a very good judge of a horse. Let's have a look and see why we've binned this one. I binned it on Action. So for whatever reason, it wasn't working well on the day. Interesting. Good page. Sometimes you can see a horse and it moves great, and then the next day you can go and it moves like a crab. They can get muscle tie-ups, just not righting themselves, things bothering them, blah, blah, blah. That may be what happened here, but anyway, the point is we've missed one stakes horse, Nymphadora. Now, we wouldn't have bought it because it cost 185,000, but the point is we still missed it. Moving on. 634. Just writing it down before we get to the end. Nymphadora was 630. Right, now I did say I could forgive myself for missed one, so we're at 1. 634, run 3 times, no good. 646 didn't make the list, no good. 641, no good. 666 didn't make the list, yet to run. 676 didn't. It was on the list and was then scrubbed. Also, Acclaim filly. Won first time out. Breeder James Wigan, owner Anita Wigan. 70 grand vendor. So I wasn't the only person to scrub it, but let's see why we scrubbed it. It was on initially 676. Now it's not a stakes filly, but it's a smart filly and could end up being a stakes filly. I've got a star, poor front leg, long pasterns, no push. So again, I failed on action. But the day before, I thought moves fine, well. Shade leggy like a board. Interesting. It's an example of moving well one day, not so well the next day. Once you've seen it on one day, you should probably forgive it the second day. 16 hands, so you can see why it's debuted on 20th of October. Shade leggy. Interesting. But we were never going to buy it if it was 70 grand vendor. So we haven't missed an opportunity, and it did make the list initially. It's just been scrubbed out. Moving on. Oh, there was a filly there called Income. I remember this filly. Ran 3 times, okay, 76, but no start at the moment. On to the next page. 694. Ran once, no good. 695. Ran twice, average. 700 was on the list. 703 wasn't. Pretty green. Ran 12 times, no good. 707. Yeah, ran 4 times, no good. 718 was on the list. 722 was on the list, as was 27, as was 29. 733 was withdrawn. It isn't a star anyway, but it may have been withdrawn and we never actually saw it to begin with. What's coming up next? 739 Purple Bling. Ran 5 times, is okay. 744 Never Say Never. Ran twice, achieved a racing post rating of 45, cost 105 grand. No good. Hmm. 750 ran 3 times, only okay. 753 ran twice, no good. 754 was on the list. 755 wasn't, yet to run. 757 ran twice, placed once. To run in Germany. There's no start, 7th in the listed race last time. 762 didn't make the list. No good. 767 Sunstrike's ringing a little bell. Okay, sold for 300 and odd thousand. Is a stakes filly, was 3rd at Sundown. Yeah, remember this, I was behind in Spiral, but is the 4th in the Group 3. We've got to kind of include that, so I've missed 2. That said, this one cost 390,000, the other one cost 160,000. So we won't lose too much sleep over it. But Sunstrike 767. Why did we fail it? Relax, push. Good page there. Interesting. Moving on. Okay, keep going down. 779, not run. They all haven't run. 801. Vendor 12 grand. Another one from One Man Stood that was vendor. It's not a stakes filly, but it's okay. It would have got half a line. 801. Toed in on both. Lots of Star Spangles can do that. Average move for toed in on both. Interesting. 12 grand, we should have probably been buying that. Moving on, 804 unraced. Sorry, no, 804's made the list. 810 didn't. And hasn't done anything so far. And was that the last one for this day? Yeah. Okay, so I think, because we're going through that, we've missed 2 stakes horses, we've missed 1 decent horse, so I think those 2 horses should have been on the list. That said, would we have bought them? No, we wouldn't. One of them. You could say, oh, we need a bigger list. But if you end up with too big a list, you might as well start just follow them all in. Moving on, 820. Okay. Right, so again, we're looking for, so no, sorry, 820. We're looking for fillies that weren't on the list. So 811 wasn't on the list. No good. 815. No good. 820 was. 822. No good. 839 wasn't on the list. 857 was on the list. 862 and 69 weren't. 62 hasn't run. 869 hasn't run. 874 wasn't on the list. RPR 73 after 2 runs, no star. 891 wasn't on the list. This looks okay, but I was withdrawn. Let's see if we saw it. We saw 891. Another good horse that J Lines has ended up training. 891 we never actually saw. It was withdrawn from day 1 at the sales. Okay, moving on. 901 we saw. No good. 902. No good. We had 7 times achieved a rating of 44. 903. This filly's okay. Mark Johnston. Run twice and then pulled up. Oh yeah, remember this filly beat Nurse Claire at Beverley, if memory serves. Just looking to see what actually happened. It looked to go wrong. Okay, so why did we not include this on the list? 903. So it's a See the Stars. So I am trying to buy 2-year-olds. So if I see the Stars that I think's only okay, then I'd leave it off. I've got a big filly, 3-year-old, not for me. There's a case to say she should have been for me. But there we go. $9.08. Lady of the Realm, no good. Gilded was obviously on the list. 929, unraced. 939. Paddy's Force, no good. 941. Run twice. Cost 120 grand. Smiling Jane. Ran a good debut. And then bombed next time out. Should this have been on the list? That is the question. Bought by Joe Foley, no doubt. Oh no, it wasn't signed by Joe Foley. 941. 16-1. Moves only okay. Nice model. Pushed near shade. 3-year-old. So the 2 that I'm regretting, or not regretting, but there's a case for regretting, I've wrote 3-year-old on both of the pages. So that kind of makes sense. Moving on. Silver Bullet Lady was on the list, as was Rancho Santa Fe. 961 didn't make the list, hasn't run. 968 didn't make the list, no good. 977 so it was okay, was withdrawn. Did we see it at the sales? 977. I'll know if I've seen it because I'll have notes on it. If I haven't got notes on it, I never seen it. And all I've got is a WD on the page. So that was never there. So that's still only got two in my mind that were okay. 980. Highland Market. It's running in Italy, so I don't think we'll be including that one. 986. That was on the list, so we won't worry too much about that one. 988 was on the list. 992 was that? Nope. So let's see if we missed out here. Nope. 995 didn't make the list. Yeah, know this fairly well. It's achieved a racing post rating of 82, but it's never under that. They get a bit carried away sometimes in listed races and states races to the racing post. 1000 didn't make the list. Rightly so. 1004. No, well, average RPR 70. 1008 didn't make the list. It was one, but only 73 horse. I think we're right to skip that one. 1011 hasn't run. 1021 didn't make the list rightly. 1024 is a winner, Miss Harmony. Won at Chelmsford, then beat at Chelmsford. No star, but it's okay. Don't think you could say it's ever going to be a stakes horse, so we'll leave that off. Scrolling down. 1025 was on the list. 1033 was on the list. 1035 wasn't. No good. 1038 wasn't. No good. 50, 52 were. 54 wasn't. No good. 55. Oh, Robson bought that one. 55. Typewriter was on the list, so we don't need to worry about that. 1061. Spanish Baroque. Oh, we've missed one here. Well, kind of missed it. Sold to White Birch Farm for 155,000. So it should have been on the list, but there's no way we're going to buy it. Obviously, be running in France. Let's see why we didn't put it on. 2 week, moves well, leggy, week and time. Is what we've wrote down. When did it run is what I'm looking for now. Won in July, three winner race. I think that's one that's got away, but it's not a state. It should have probably been on the list in hindsight, but 155 grand. It's not the end of the world because we were never going to buy it. 1064 didn't make the list, rightly so. 1074 didn't make the list. Should have looking at this. Oh, this is the smart filler that won at Lingfield the other day. Yeah, I wanted to look this one up, see why it didn't make the list. 1074. Okay, offset both, toes in both. So it's quite special in front. Shade dip back. I always say ignore dip backs. Long upright pastons in front. 15.3. Did I see it twice? Nope. Again, it's Golden Horn. The 3 smart horses that have come from this sale that I've binned. See the Stars, Far, Golden Horn, all 3-year-old fillies, or 3-year-old pedigrees. So that I'd like to think was going through my mind, but obviously it's impossible to tell now. 1077 was on the list. How much further do we need to go? for this day. 10 to 1080. 1080. Fantasy Mac, no good. So on that day, there was one stakes filly. I identified it. There were 3 good fillies that I didn't identify, but they were all 3-year-old pedigrees, and the 5 good ones that I did were on the list. So it's not too bad that day. We haven't missed anything particularly there. Moving forward, correct me if I'm wrong, but yeah, that's how I'm reading that day. Okay, so look, 1090. Sorry, 1090 is first one on the list. We're going to start with 1083. Torshi, no good. 1084. 1. I think this was withdrawn. Yeah, so we didn't see this one. 1087. Missed down under. This is another one to think about. Australia filly, won on its second start. Debut September, won October. So again, it's a 3-year-old filly. If I've wrote 3-year-old on my page, I'm forgiving myself. If I haven't, I'm not. 1087, didn't see it. Not sure why, but there's no notes on my page. Maybe it's because she was in Australia, and it was day 3, I don't know. But maybe we just overlooked it. Moving on. 1089, didn't make the list. Bought by Grove Stud, should have made the list. Yeah. Second in the listed race there, should have made the list. Bought by Grove Stud. Blarney again, finding another good horse that I've missed. 1089, Blarney's Brendan Holland, Grove Stud. Felix a little bit narrow. So that is a good horse that I've missed. 1089, Breeze Easy. So stakes placed. Moving on. 1095 was on the list. 1103 wasn't. No good. 1110 didn't make the list. No Nay Never again. These 2 No Nevers have been okay. No Nay. The other one's like Nymphadora. Have we filled this on action? This would be interesting. Yes, we have. Maybe something to consider, the No Nay Nevers on their action. 1131. Need to check 1115 first. Rouge et Noir, limited, 75 to 5 runs, not having won. Moving on. 1121 did make the list, rightly so. 1131 did. 1134 didn't make the list, rightly so. 36 did. 43 did. 58 did. 60 didn't. No good. 61 didn't. John and Jake Warren bought this filly. 1 at Lingfield and B at Kempton. So this is okay. It's not a stakes filly. They gave 95,000 for it. Why did we fail this one? Lack push. Oh, I've circled Hallin. So I've had this down as being backward, as in taking a bit of time, i.e. the 3-year-old angle. But I have wrote 40 to 50. I bet that's what he asked, what he's told me he was going to make. That'll be why I've left it off. That said, I've probably failed it because it's a 3-year-old pedigree. Yeah, so that's come up again. That's interesting. But I'm always saying let's try and compete at 2, not 3, which is, does work. 1166 is the next one. Rate 72, no good. 1168. Pink Storm, no good. 69. These are all ones that aren't on the list. No good. 77. No good. 81. No good. 85. No good. 94. No good. 95. No good. 1201. 1202. No good. So we're getting most of these ones right. 1219 didn't make the list. Rightly so. 1229 withdrawn. No good. Excuse me. No good anyway. 1230 no good. 1246. No good. 1260. No good. So this page is reading well, from my point of view. 1266, no good. Not from Tattersalls' point of view. So we won't be copying them in on the dispersal of it. 1287. No good. Oh, well, unraced. 1292. Didn't make the list. No good. 1297 didn't make the list. Rightly so. 1307 did. 1309 didn't. And rightly so. 1316 didn't. Aha. This one should have made the list. Value theory. Third in the Group 3 new market on 7th of October. 7th of August. Value theory. So we've got 2 stakes placed fillies on the list. Let me see why I didn't leave this one on. Gleneagles filly. If it says 3-year-old, I can forgive myself. I imagine that's what it's going to say if Matt Johnson bought it. Nope, it reads average. Well, it's performed better than average. That's one that's got away. 50,000 would I have bought it? Possibly. 1317 was on the list. 1333. One flower, no good. 1343. Mama Mac. Ran once. 1344. For sure, run twice. Second on its latest start. Let's see what we said about this one. It's a new approach filly. So you would imagine I've wrote time. Didn't see it. Probably because it's by a new approach, but I still should have seen it. It's disappointing. And that's it. So, looking back at it, we've missed Nymphadora and the Dark Nymphadora on day 1. No, we've had stakes placed horse on day 2, the Dark Angel that David Redford's bought for a lot of money. And on day 3, we've got, what's that say? Value Theory and Breeze Easy. So 2 stakes placed. So we've missed 1 stakes winner, 3 stakes placed. Could we have bought any of them? Yeah, possibly the last 2. That said, we've selected 5 stakes winners. So we've selected 5 stakes winners, binned 1. But we've also binned 2 stakes placed horses. We've ended up with 84 horses on the list out of 282. So you could say that's about a quarter. We've a quarter on the list, and we've identified the 5 of the 6 stakes winners. That's not too bad. I'll say that once more time. A quarter of the horses were selected, but we've selected 5 of the 6 stakes winners. That's pretty good. And what's even better is, of the 5 stakes winners, 5 stakes horses that were on the list, 2 of them are ours. So on the whole, he tells me 8.5 out of 10 for Nick Bradley rating. I think I need to look more closely at No Nay Nevers. Forgive their actions sometimes. And also consider the 3-year-old fillies. They've got 3-year-old pedigrees, because when they are falling through the ring at very little price, there's a chance that they'll be running September, October at 2 and doing the business then. And that's obviously when the majority of the stakes races are. Right, we'll leave it at that, and I'll do the next one of these at some point in the future.